Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on the video. We're going to be talking about the Genshin 5.6 Phase 2 banners, the characters, the weapons, whether you should wish on them, or whether you should save your primos. So, Kinich, a great Dendro DPS, okay? Especially if you want to rock the Spiral Abyss, okay? So, he's really good for bosses. He doesn't shine in mob units, you know, or like an AoE style, although you can if you want to get some weird swirl stuff going on. But his exploration, super good even when you're not in Natlan. He's got great free-to-play options when it comes to his weapons and his kit, and you don't need other characters to make him good enough for the Spiral Abyss, but some other characters will definitely help improve him and make him stronger. Okay, so let's talk about that now. So he is mainly used for a burning team. Okay, so as you can see, we have like a lot of fun. He's got a lot of really good movements. Now that the playstyle is a little different, right? So just make sure that you go into the practice, and if you know, give him a test run, because you could look at him and think I would like it, but then when it comes to playing him, maybe you don't. Okay. So if you have Emily, there's probably not a lot of Emily havers out there, but if you have Emily, you can stick her on a team with Kinich, and he will do a lot more damage. Okay, so the burning will get amped up quite a bit. And Mavwika, you throw him on a team with Kinich, and your burning is going to get increased quite a bit as well. So in terms of meta, he is not a super hardcore need for any account. However, as you can see with exploration, he's super fun. His combat style is just different, you know, kind of helps you feel revitalized, and the playstyle's different. So he's not necessarily a need to pull. However, if you like his playstyle, if you want the strongest Dendro DPS, burning, you know, it just feels kind of cool to play because it's different. And especially if you have Emily and or Mawika, he's a great unit to pick up. You're gonna have a lot of fun with him, truly. Raiden is in a weird spot, okay, because she is an awesome unit. However, it's not like she had I don't know if power creep is the right word. I don't think she's been power crept, but the meta is just different, and the teams are stronger than what she used to be in her heyday. Now, if you have C2 Raiden, you're going to have an extremely strong DPS, and you're going to be able to use her for the Spiral Abyss, no problem. And in terms of like a normal everyday gameplay, Raiden is super fun. She has a super clean animation. She has really good off-field support. You know, I mean, if you're a Euler haver like I am. All right, so Raiden, extremely gorgeous character. I mean, just absolutely look at her. Really good off-field. This is one of my favorite teams to bring out into the overworld. I'm not sure why. It's just, it feels good. Oh god, this is so awkward. Eula did not have that much health. Okay, well, yeah, this is super awkward. You're just gonna do that. You're just gonna do that to me on YouTube.
What's the
Torn to oblivion?
Awesome off-field electro support. You can use her in a bunch of different ways, okay? So you have the hyper carry team, so you just stack her on a team with Kujou Sara, Bennett, and another sub DPS, and you're rocking and socking. You can do an electro charge team, and she could be the on-field carry, or she can be the off-field support. You could probably do some cool things with Aurora now too. Dendro, she can be the electro applicator for Dendro teams, right? So shove Dragon's Bane on her, throw some Gilded Dreams on her, and she does really well with Nikita or any other Dendro-based teams, of course. Oh, and of course you can use Raiden for overload teams, right? You throw Kujou Sara and Chevrus there, and you're gonna have yourself a good overload team. So she has a lot of different options, okay? And then of course, just like me, if you want to throw her on a physical DPS, old school Eula team, I love doing that in the overworld. Spiral Abyss, not so much. I mean, they're just, the HP scaling is absolutely insane anymore. So you can use Yule or Raiden teams for floors 11, but when it comes to floor 12, I mean, there's just no contest unless you have C2 Raiden. Then she can do a hyper carry by herself, or you can rock her on an all field support for other carries. But you know, she's just really getting outshined by all the melt comps that are out there and all the new stuff that they're putting out. So if you have C1 and you're close to pity, then I think C2, hi puppy, then I think C2 is worth it if you have C1. If you have C0, I don't think she's worth going to C2 anymore. Puppy, I'm trying to record a video here. I don't think she's worth going to C2 anymore. I would suggest you save your primos and maybe try to get the Cryo Chef's weapon before she leaves, or even save it for, you know, possibly if Skirk's gonna be any good, or the Mavwika rerun that's coming up here soon. Okay, but I don't regret getting Raiden. She's a fantastic unit. I love using her. She's just kind of getting outshined right now. So, and of course, like fishing, but the catch, especially R5, is like her like second best weapon, I think, and it's super free to play. You just have to grind. You just have to grind fish. Raiden is a great character for new players, and you know, so is Kinich. Even if you just have Zhang Ling and Bennett. Raiden, very versatile, just a little underwhelming right now. Still, she's gorgeous. If you want her for the drip, if you want her because she's dope and you just like her, she isn't a super waste. She just isn't super meta anymore. So don't hesitate to pull her. I just like being honest with people. And her weapon, I would try to get C1 and C2 before her weapon. It's just because the catch is so dang good, and Primordial Jade Cutter is so close. I don't think getting her weapon is worth it unless you got C2 and you're a little bit of a whale. These 4 stars, a little underwhelming, but we'll chat about them nonetheless here. All right, cool. Thoma, off-field pyro application and shielder. So he actually comes in handy more than what I initially thought he would. I actually like using him quite a bit. He adds some like really cool flair to normal overworld stuff. And the shield is not nothing. I mean, the shield's decent. He's got some good versatility. You can use him in overload teams. You can use him in rainbow teams. You can use him in burning teams. And when I say rainbow teams, I mean, you know, just like a quick burst swap, kind of off field. You know, it's kind of like a hodgepodge of whatever you want. But he comes up quite a bit. So there you go, you got a shield, and then every time you swipe, he throws fire at him. It's very cool, very satisfying, especially when you have multiple things tacked together. Okay, so obviously if you have him at C6, he is going to be a lot better. The more of these you can get, the better. Don't sweat if you can't get him at C6. His recharge time and his off-field damage is just gonna be reduced. Okay, but I like him. He's fun. You guys will have a good time with him. Lynette, I'm not gonna lie, she's not used unless you like her. As you see, I don't even have her built. Oh, there we go. See, if you hold it down, that's pretty cool. She's an Animo DPS 4-star, and she's not even a good one. I mean, like, just I genuinely, if you like her, you can build her. Don't bother in the Spiral Abyss. If you want to use her for fun overworld stuff, but she's not very good. Kujou Sara is pretty good. She's a great buffer. Okay, so she buffs electro damage. Okay, so for Kujou Sara, you do her burst. Yeah, very cool. And then you pop this little sigil, and now around this sigil here, your electro damage is going to be increased. Okay, now obviously this team, Kujou Sara is not going to do her thing, but especially if you have C6 Kujou Sara, the damage buff is significant. Okay, now obviously I don't have her built because I just don't use her most of the time. By the person who is who is affected by the buff gets their crit damage increased by 60%. Pretty dang cool. Pretty cool. So get as many constellations of her as you can. Otherwise, for her, you just put the Favonius or the Sacrificial on her for energy recharge. You give her the 4-piece emblem set, but I was currently doing some fun stuff with like Beto and a couple other units, so she's not super built right now. But she's super fun, and I mean, look at her. She's just absolutely gorgeous.
Strike.
So overall, character banners are okay. Kinich, very cool. Raiden, very cool, but a little under meta right now. A little underhyped. 4-star characters. Thoma's fun and usable. Kujou Sara, usable in strict carries that you need electro damage increase, but only at C6. Otherwise, she doesn't really help that much. Now, in terms of the Spiral Abyss, I was curious about the Spiral Abyss statistics. Kinich is down here in 7%, whereas Raiden is up here in 19%. Now, this is B. Now, let's go back to A. This is 5, and this is 5.4. Kinich 14, Raiden 12. And you know, some of these 4-stars. Yeah, look. Hold on. We ain't even gonna find. Yeah, Lynette 0. Kujou Sara 3%. It wouldn't surprise me if Thoma's a little bit. Okay, no, Thoma's not up there either. Where's our boy Thoma here? Ugh, 1.29%. So yeah, as you can see, don't necessarily sweat too much, but I just always like to glance at this just to be sure. Now, 5.2, Kinich went up to 30%, which is pretty cool, and Raiden 21%. So it does seem like they're kind of sticking close together in terms of their usage. However, I think it's going to be rare, like Kujou Sara 2%. I think it's going to be rare to see those 4-stars anywhere. Lynette, always going to be 0.23 exactly. It's like one person user, just to flub the results. Alright, Fang of the Mountain King here. Let's give her a quick pull up. So crit rate 11%, base attack 741. So tying the base attack with the with Malwika's weapon, Thousand Blazing Suns. Yeah. Thousand Blazing Suns. Gain a stack of Canopy's favor after hitting an opponent with an elemental skills. Can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds. After a nearby party member triggers a burning or burden reaction, the equipping character gains 3 stacks. The effect triggers once every 2 seconds. Can be triggered even when the triggering party member is off field. Elemental skill and burst damage increase by 10 seconds for 6, max 6 stacks. Each stack is counted independently. So of course, super made for Kinich. It's a fine stat stick for other Claymore users. However, there are just better Claymores, more suited for more well-rounded. You know, there's just Claymores that have lower base attack and just higher crit rate. However, with Kinich's artifact set, you get like a 40% crit damage increase. So that with this, I mean, you're going to be pretty close to maxing crit rate relatively easily for the most part if you have this and you have his artifact set at a good, if you have his set and you have some decent artifacts. If it were me and I had the choice to do his C1 or a weapon, I think I would go for his C1. So his C1, after Kinich's lands from the Canopy Hunter riding air mid-air swing, his movement speed will increase by 30% for 6 seconds, and the cannon's crit damage is increased by 100%. So I would go for his C1 before I would try for the weapon. Engulfing Lightning. Base attack 608. High energy recharge, because that's what Raiden needs. Attack percent by 28%. Attack increase by 20% of engulfing recharge over the base of 100%. You can gain a maximum of 80% attack. Gain 30% energy recharge for 12 seconds after using elemental burst. Obviously, Engulfing Lightning, super hardcore, amazing for Raiden. However, Engulfing Lightning, the R5 catch, and Primordial Jade Cutter are all honestly relatively close. Engulfing Lightning is one of the 5-stars that you can actually skip with relative ease on how much damage that you're going to lose compared to other 5-star differences. In terms of Raiden C1 versus getting the Engulfing Lightning. Alright, her chakra will resolve even faster. When electro characters use their elemental burst, the resolve gained is increased by 80%. When characters of the elemental type use their elemental burst, the resolve gains is increased by 20%. So that sigil she has gains even faster, which will increase the damage, okay? So I would go... Now, if you're getting both characters and it's a win either way, then sure, go ahead, pull on the banner, get one of the 5 stars. The 4 stars are not going to be too worth it here. You have the stringless, great elemental mastery weapon, especially for... So maybe, you know, hey, if you can snipe 1 or 2 of those bad boys, then probably worth it. Lion's Roar, don't bother. Eye of Perception, literally one of the worst weapons of the game. This Claymore isn't used too much. I don't even know if I have mine leveled up. I don't even think I've needed to level mine up at all. Yeah, I haven't. So Favonius Claymore, it's fine. I mean, there's some cases for some of these supports. Beto, Sayu. I mean, these are just characters I have. Don't go chasing after this weapon. It's good if you don't have anything else, and it is a Favonius, so you'll get the clear particles for energy recharge, so you can help other units get to their ults faster. In terms of everything else, that is Dragon's Bane. Dragon's Bane, a very useful weapon. As you can see, EM. So EM based stat stick. Used for any team that wants EM. So throw it on Raiden for her Dendro teams. Throw it on any elemental based reactions like Vape. You can throw it on Hu Tao and Zhangling totally. You can throw it on Rosaria for reverse melt teams. You can throw it on Arlecchino for melt teams or Vape teams. I don't think you could throw it on, depending on your artifact set, you can probably throw it on Thoma just fine. Chevreuse wants energy recharge for her skill and her ultimate, and you could probably throw it on, yeah, I mean, there's a lot. You could throw this on a lot of different units, okay? But don't sweat it. Don't break the bank trying to get a couple copies of this, okay? Overall, the weapon banner is honestly fine. So, but again, for these units, you don't need either of the weapons. So this is probably a really easy one to skip unless you're a whale or you really want the drip, okay? Alright, so hey, thank you for watching. If you guys like this video, you can tell me in the comments down below. Now, I will be doing another video coming up soon talking about the Chronicle Wish banner and what you should be doing in terms of how you want to wish on this. So I will be talking about this in another video coming up soon, okay? So I've already got it recorded. I just want to put some gameplay stuff on there for the people that want to see it. So thank you again. Take care. You can tell me if you're going to be doing any wishing. And yeah, hope you have a great day.